find it interesting that every one of us are flawed. Very flawed. Yet our mind demands perfection quite often, both in the moment and in the future. Even though our minds want to tell us that we're not actually supposed to be doing it that way, it's weird because the negative emotion in the moment overrides the logic of naturally knowing that you can't do everything perfect. It's sad to see that negative emotions have such a grasp at the very threads of our society. And we live lives that constantly give us stress. And we're constantly wondering to ourselves that, how am I supposed to navigate this world without being perfect in order to get what I want? Because at this point, it really seems like we're all in a situation that's completely against us. But I'm here to tell you that no matter how strong your negative emotions get and what it wants to tell you, wants you to believe. All that is simple bullshit. Your negative emotions are lying to you in order for the emotions to get their way. Since we are all living in our own bodies 100% of the time, we see literally everything that we do. And because of that, that has a lot of potential to judge you and try to warp logic into thinking one way or the highway. And that simply isn't true. What I'm trying to say is no other human can experience everything you experience. And because of that, you are witnessing live that every last one of your mistakes, even though others only see a very small fraction of your flaws and your mistakes. And our inner judge wants us to force ourselves into these negative mindsets a lot of the time because, one situation can lead to a failure, and that failure leads to the mindset. And if you don't have the structure in place in your mind to reject it consistently, our minds are just naturally going to default to that. It's really important to know in our lives that every last one of us can use our flaws as a legitimate reason to not be able to do something to the best of our abilities. Us humans, we come short always, There's always parts of everyone's lives where we end up coming short of our expectations, our goals, what we want to do in life. And you know what? We may face, obstacles all the time, small, medium, and large, but every last one of us has the potential to utterly destroy any obstacle that we face and tunnel vision ourselves into what we actually want out of life. In this world where we have technology and everyone just uses it for hours daily, basically everyone constantly sees stories, photos, videos of ultra successful people who hit the jackpot lottery and fame, and now half the world knows them, just stuff like that. And when we go into that with jealousy and anger and these nasty negative emotions that so much bring to these situations, all that happens is you compare to yourself. Damn it, I'm not like that. And then you feel like a failure, and that drains your energy to go out and become the best you. Just know that those people, they're just showing off their end goals. And your end goal can easily be just as beautiful. You do have the potential in you to do whatever you want out of life. Each and every one of us can benefit from standards in our life. But just like any relationship with any aspect of our life, whether it be with our emotions or not, it's just a matter of, controlling it. Not letting it go all out in the wild and letting it whisper you lies that over time that turn from lies into actual facts in your mind that aren't even facts. If you're going to put things into very simple terms for anyone to understand, You want to know what happens when you become your own self-judge in the wrong way? You're going to be way more stressed out, always. Your negative emotions are going to flare up harder when they do come out. It's going to drain you of energy, and it's going to make your goal, the pathway to you and your goals, much longer and a much harder one. You see, what we want to do in order to reach our goals in our lives is, the thing is, yes, there is a lot of friction between them and the goals because it's so much progress, you know, but getting rid of all the friction, that negative emotions, and any real emotion for that matter, you know, if you just push that to the side and just lock in on your goals, you're gonna get what you want. And if you give in to the self-judge, have fun suffering. And trust me, it's not a friend, it's an enemy. And trust me, you can throw that shit out of your life real quick. So don't be hard on yourself, because you're deserving of it. I'm talking to you. You deserve everything life has to offer, and you have the ambition in you to get it. You may not believe it. I didn't believe it. I've always been an ambitious man, and like an overly ambitious man that would tell people about these overly ambitious goals, and I just sat on it for so long without realizing that this ambition can be translated into just basically like an unlimited energy source. So throw away the self-judgment in you. Strive for your goals. And when you go for your goals, you're gonna feel amazing. Not just because you started the process, but you're also making it a consistent part of your life. And trust me, every last part of it is going to be very, very, very awesome and pleasurable. It's going to give you levels of satisfaction going towards your biggest goals in life. That gives you the most meaning. It's a feeling of, it's an amazing feeling. It's like a mixture of being proud of yourself and, you know, fun and being excited for the unexpected. There's just a pool of joy for everyone that so little of us tap into, because we think our greater self more as a fantasy to leave in childhood rather than, simply put, it being true. No matter what you, anyone, or the world wants to tell you or shove down your throat constantly. Now, if you're working on your self-judge, let me know in the comment section what positive thing you tell yourself when the inner judge comes out of you. And if you haven't started the process of getting rid of that inner negative judge, what do you think is one positive thing you could potentially tell yourself when it comes out of you? For me, when I end up starting to judge myself, saying stuff like, I hate myself because I couldn't do X, I accept it. I accept the thought that is being placed on me, and then I push it aside, and then I replace that with simply telling me that I love myself. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it a lot, every last one of you watching these videos. And comment, and subscribe. And you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow.